I mean, I'm not saying that we could beat the Diaz brothers in a tag team match, but I'm not saying that we couldn't.
The Diaz brothers don't even watch fights, and they could still beat you in predicting fights.
Well, let's find out. About to get into these UFC 241 predictions here with my brother Nick.
So the card that we have all been waiting for is finally here.
Woo!
UFC 241, Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic 2. Nate Diaz returns against former lightweight champion Anthony Pettis, and the super steroid battle for the ages.
Just two fucking gorillas just going out there and seeing who is the bigger gorilla.
Romero versus
I didn't know what to say.
Paulo Costa. So, time to do some predictions. I will let you guys know, especially if it's your first time listening. I am 15-2 in my last 17 picks. Currently in first place out of all of the third string sports MMA team.
I'm doing pretty good too.
You're in like last.
No, I'm not.
But you're getting better.
No, I'm doing really good these last 3 weeks. And I'll give you some little examples right now.
All right. So yeah, I'm 26-11 total. We both started off a little slow in our first two cards, but 15-2 in my last 17. Can't argue that. Brennan has been doing pretty well too. And then we got good old Jake Fleet in second place behind me. Paul Matthews tied with Brennan for third or fourth in the fan vote. 18-19. You guys, I was told to lay off because I've been mean to you guys, but you're still just trash.
But it's okay because I'm going to help you guys out.
That's why you have us.
I'm going to give you some locks.
All right, first fight, UFC 241 main card. We got Derek Brunson against Ian Heinisch. Good middleweight battle. Derek Brunson used to be kind of an up-and-comer, a guy people thought could make some noise in the division. I think lately he's kind of proven that wrong.
Yeah.
He's a little bit overhyped. Seems like every time he fights top competition, gets the shit kicked out of him. But he does have some good KO power. He could wrestle like he did against Theodora. But most people are counting him out in this one, probably because of those reasons of his last few fights. But Ian Heinisch is a guy that's going to push the pace on Brunson, which a lot of people don't try to do. Most people stay back and pick him apart, and Brunson gets crazy and starts swinging and fucking gets his ass beat. Heinisch isn't going to stay back. He's going to push the pace on him. It's a guy with great conditioning, fucking really good on his feet, and really good jiu-jitsu on the ground. So I'm going to go with Heinisch by some kind of finish.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really been too impressed with Derek Brunson anyway. He's coming off a win, but before that he got knocked out twice. I mean, by good fighters, but, you know, I've never been too impressed with him. He's pretty sloppy on the feet. You mentioned his wrestling, but, I mean, Ian Heinisch is a really good wrestler, too. I don't know if you know that. Do you know this guy's story?
No.
Dude. All right, so for people that don't know, so this guy was a really good wrestler in high school, Colorado, All-American. And then he got arrested for selling drugs in high school, and he ran away to Amsterdam and lived there for a while. And he was smuggling drugs, like, in his butthole back and forth to different countries, and ended up getting caught. And he was in jail in Spain for 2 years, and then they sent him to Rikers Island. And he was in Rikers Island for a while. And then when he finally got out of jail, he got his shit together and started doing MMA. I think he's at Factor X, I think is where he trains.
Yeah, Muay Thai.
Yeah, Factor X. And yeah, I mean, obviously he's got his life together. Now he tries to help younger kids that are like getting in trouble or people that are in jail and stuff like that, and does a lot of stuff like that. But man, I mean, I've went through and watched some of his fights, and he looks really good. Like you said, his conditioning's good. His striking's good. He's got I wasn't really expecting it, but he's got good kicks, good conditioning.
He's got a good guard too.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going with Ian Heinisch all the way, and I'm pretty excited to see how he ends up doing after this fight as well. Assuming that he wins, like I think that he will. He's coming off of a win over Antonio Carlos Jr. That's a good win.
Yeah, I mean Brunson's only chance is to catch him coming in, because Brunson does have power, but
he does. But he's sloppy, and as long as you fight him smart, I think you're gonna be all right.
He'll swing like crazy and get tired, and Heinisch isn't gonna get tired. So Heinisch, it's a lock.
Yeah.
Next fight, we got Benitez versus Yusuf.
Exciting fight.
I'll start off with Benitez. I think the main thing he has going for him is that he trains at AKA. I did not know that until I looked it up. Trains at AKA. What he needs to do in this fight is use his kicks early and attack the legs of Yusuf. Benitez has really good kicks to the legs and to the body. I mean, that's really the only advantage I see that he has over Yusuf. He's a pretty big underdog. Yusuf has really fast hands, great boxing. I think he needs to get in close, make it a tough fight, push the pace, use the speed, and I think he probably dominates all the way. I think this is a fight that they're going to really try to build Yusuf off of.
Yeah.
They even had him in a promo, one of the commercials for the card, which I didn't expect because they usually don't have the fourth fight on there, let alone somebody like Yusuf who most people don't know. So I really think they're going to try to get behind this guy.
I think that I'm going to go with Yusuf too, but I'm actually surprised that Benitez is such a big underdog. I actually think that he's a good fighter.
Yusuf's by far the biggest favorite on the main card.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Benitez is an AKA guy. He's got 10 submissions, 7 knockouts. He's been fighting a long time. He's on a 2-fight win streak over Bandone, who we just saw last week. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, you.
All right.
Last week.
But I never said that Bandone was good.
You were so happy everybody else picked against Bandone.
Well, okay, so I was right that the other guy's not very good. I just underestimated how bad Bandone was. Neither one of them were good.
No.
But anyway, so back to Benitez. He's got that KO slam win over Bandone, and then he had a really decisive decision over Jason Knight. And his only 2 losses in the UFC are to Barzola and Andre Fili, are both really good. But Benitez, he's really fast.
Barzola fought last weekend too.
Yeah, he
I
looked
was the only
good.
person that picked him.
I think Benitez actually has the speed advantage here. He's got a good gas tank. He's really exciting, high pace fighter. Yeah, like you said, he's got good kicks. And then I've watched some of Yusuf's fights also. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He's got 5 KOs. He's no submissions, and he's never been submitted.
Doesn't fight on the ground.
Yeah, but he's stopped. He's never been taken down, I don't think. But yeah, he's got more power, I'd say. But I actually think this is a better fight than people think. I think it's definitely going to end in a finish. I don't think it goes the distance, but I think I'm going to go with Yusuf too. But I actually think Benitez has a much better chance in this fight than people are giving him credit for. I don't really know why he's such a big underdog.
One thing with Benitez I didn't really think about until I just kind of kept looking at AKA. Since neither of these guys are wrestlers, even though AKA is American Kickboxing Academy, they have a lot of good wrestlers in there, and all those guys there develop good wrestling. Like Luke Rockhold developed really good wrestling there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy go out there and try to land some takedowns maybe too.
Yeah,
they develop all the guys wrestling really, really well.
I might actually look at this fight a little more. I think people might be surprised by Benitez.
No.
I'm not locked in.
Yeah, change it. I don't want you to have the same pick as me.
But I probably won't. But I don't know. I need to look at it some more because I think this is a better fight than people think. But moving on to the
cracking open another little Bud Lights.
Fucking monster movie, Yoel Romero and Paulo Costa. I mean, who's not excited to see that? These dudes are freaking animals.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really good chance winner and loser of this fight don't fight again for a while because they'll probably fail a test from USADA. But, yeah, these guys are really probably the 2 biggest, most athletic guys in the division. Yoel Romero is an incredible wrestler, world silver medalist, I believe. He beat Cael Sanderson back in the day, who's one of the best American wrestlers of all time. So yeah, obviously has way better wrestling, faced way better competition. You can make an argument that Yoel Romero is the best middleweight in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of people, probably most people, think he beat Whitaker in that last fight.
They were both close fights.
Which also goes against something I've heard people say, Romero doesn't have a good gas tank, which is, I don't get. I mean, he went 5 rounds with Whitaker twice in 1 round. He finished Weidman in the 3rd round.
I think people say that because of the Tim Kennedy fight.
I think people say it because of how big he is. He just looks like he has a bad gas tank.
Yeah, but
I don't see that at all.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put Paul on blast here. He texted in our group chat in all caps. So he picked Paulo Costa for this fight. And
Paul Matthews.
Paul Matthews. He's been on a couple times.
It sounded like you said Paula.
Oh, no. Paulo
Costa texted us and was
Paulo Costa probably did pick himself also. But no, Paul Matthews, one of our buddies, has been on a couple times. He picked Costa. and in all caps, way better gas tank than Yoel Romero. And I don't know if Paul has watched Paulo run around the block a few times, or if they're buddies, or if they go to the gym and hit the treadmill together, but
They're in a Paul group text.
Costa's never been out of the second round, so I don't know where the fuck he got that idea. Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine that he has a better gas tank than Romero.
He could.
He might, but I mean, there's no reason to think that he does.
Yeah.
In all caps, nonetheless. Very confident there, I guess, but yeah, I'm going to go with Romero here. Better wrestling. I mean, he's good on his feet. He's got power, too. I mean, fought better guys.
I mean, there's not a lot of knocks you can have on Costa. Like,
Yeah, no,
He's dominated.
His last 2 wins are against Uriah Hall and Johnny Hendricks, though.
2 downgraded.
Yeah, so
guys that get finished and beat up. And
yeah, not to say that he can't knock everybody out, because obviously
they really just put this fight together because of how these guys look.
Yeah, they've been trying to put this fight together for a long time.
Yeah, and Costa keeps failing drug tests and shit.
But what are you gonna do, man? So
And they're like, no. Oh, he also, I didn't know this either. He trains with Henry Cejudo's head coach.
Oh yeah, I actually did know
I
that.
didn't know that. So that could help. That dude's been killing it lately.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that guy. I guess that guy got. I was watching him on Aerial last night or today, one of them, and he was a fucking silver medalist at the Pan Ams.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I've always kind of wondered who he really was, and like how he was
Got
involved with all these
guys.
really good
yeah, dude,
guys.
He has Pitbull and Cejudo and Paulo Costa.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with Romero. I mean, yeah, I mean, he might train in the same gym as Henry Cejudo, but I don't know how much he's helping him with his wrestling.
I haven't seen anything with Yoel Romero that would make me pick against him against really anyone besides maybe Whitaker.
Yeah, and I mean, he can even beat Whitaker. He just, he hasn't.
He has to make weight. That's another thing.
Yeah, but
Nah, I guess he doesn't have to. He usually doesn't. So
yeah, I hope he makes weight. That shit pisses me off more than anything. But yeah, if he misses weight and he wins, we still get our credit for our picks here.
sure. All right, next fight, probably
So-
the hardest one to predict.
By far,
One of the hardest fights I've ever had to predict.
it's
Nate
just
Diaz
been
and Pettis.
keeping me up at night.
They just, to me, their strengths are what give each other problems, if that makes sense. Like, Pettis struggles with people that push the pace and get in his face and mentally break people and have great conditioning, and that's Nate Diaz to a T. And Diaz struggles with people who move a lot, keep distance, throw leg kicks, frustrate him, and that's Pettis. So, obviously Nate's game plan is going to be to fucking move forward, use his boxing. The dude has absolutely no wrestling, so Nate Diaz isn't going to take him down. And he basically, I think he needs to try to mentally break Pettis. I don't think Pettis is very mentally tough. When he gets injuries, he quits. Like, he quit with a broken hand. Against Poirier, he basically quit because his rib broke, which obviously those are, that shit hurts, but, there's fighter, Rich Franklin knocked out Trickle with a broken arm, so.
Yeah, Nate Diaz isn't gonna quit if he breaks his ribs.
And I really think Nate Diaz needs to trash talk him and try to bring Pettis into a brawl. I think Pettis' game plan is going to be to move around, use his footwork kind of like Josh Thompson did, throw leg kicks, throw body kicks, and maybe eventually have that set up a head kick like Josh Thompson did. But I think Pettis needs to trash talk, get him all amped up like he has been in these interviews, and try to bring him to a brawl.
You mean Diaz needs to?
Yeah, Diaz needs to do it to Pettis. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Pettis is too well coached. And I think he's just going to move around, have that same game plan Josh Thompson did, switching feet, throwing leg kicks, throwing body kicks, and eventually throwing some head kicks. I mean, the only thing is does Pettis have the conditioning? That's been one of Pettis' main issues, but I think at 170, he's going to be good conditioning-wise, not cutting the weight. I think it's going to help him. And I'm going to go with Pettis. For some reason, I have a really weird feeling he's going to knock Diaz out, even though that never happens. And Nate Diaz is my favorite fighter. But Pettis does this thing where he throws his body kick and a Superman punch right to follow it. On the same side, he'll throw a right body kick and a right Superman punch. I think he's going to land that a ton, and then I think he might set up that high kick eventually. I don't know why, but...
you said a lot of the same things I've been thinking.
It's the same things everyone... that's why it's so tough.
It's a really tough fight to pick. I think it being 3 rounds really helps Pettis out because of the conditioning. Obviously Diaz has really good conditioning. So if it was a 5-round fight, I think I'd actually definitely go with Diaz. But with 3 rounds, Diaz starts slow sometimes, has trouble with that. I think Pettis is, if he's smart, if he fights the way he should win this fight. With the leg kicks, it's going to be a stand-up fight.
We'll know who's going to win this fight by the second round.
We should.
Pettis is going to win the first round.
But yeah, I think a lot of the things about Pettis too, like he kind of mentally breaks sometimes out there. We've seen it a few times, and then also he's got. I mean, his hands are fragile. He's broken his hands a couple times, so it being a 3-round fight really favors him. As long as he fights smart and doesn't do anything stupid, he should win this fight. But I mean, Diaz is a beast too. It is a really tough fight to pick. I think it's going to be on the feet pretty much for the whole time.
Who even has the advantage in the ground game, really? I mean, Diaz is a beast on the ground, but Anthony Pettis submitted Benson Henderson. He submitted Gilbert Melendez. He submitted Michael Chiesa. All guys that are good on the ground. So it's like, I couldn't really see either of them getting submitted, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Pettis has been up and down a lot lately. I mean, he's since 2016, every fight he has been opposite. He's won, lost, won, lost, won, lost, won. But
So
his wins are against Stephen Thompson, Michael Chiesa, Jim Miller, Charles Oliveira, and then his last 3 losses were to Tony Ferguson, Dustin Poirier, and Max Holloway.
See, that's the thing, though. Those are 3 fighters that fight fucking like Diaz.
Yeah,
Tony, Dustin, and Max.
that's true. Yeah, damn, that's really true.
But they're all way better than Nate, I think.
Yeah,
I don't, like, how good is Nate Diaz, really?
I don't know. I mean, I
Like-
feel like that's a question everybody.
He beat Conor, but that is Conor McGregor is the perfect fucking matchup for Nate Diaz, you know?
Yeah.
Like, somebody with bad conditioning that mostly boxes. Like,
Yeah.
it's perfect for Nate. And it's a bad ground game. I think the person that Nate's fought, again, that mostly resembles Pettis is Josh Thompson, and he got knocked out.
Man, it is so hard to pick this fight.
Guys with good kicks, RDA. Beat Nate.
I think Pettis with the kicks and the unpredictable stuff that he does, and
He has to keep his cool.
the stuff that all the stuff that frustrates the Diaz brothers, and they just like get annoyed by it instead of learning how to stop it.
Yeah. Nate's getting better at checking leg kicks, though.
I mean, he hasn't fought since 2016.
He checked leg kicks against Conor.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really tough one. I feel like everything's telling me to pick Pettis, but then I want to pick Diaz.
I know. Diaz is one of my favorites. Like, I want Diaz to win. No matter who I pick, I want Diaz to win the fight. I don't know, man. Diaz, like, he doesn't really win all the time. Like, neither does Pettis, though.
Yeah, they both lose all the fucking time.
It's true.
I mean, but they're both really good. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I never pick Pettis to win either.
I don't either.
I always pick Pettis to lose every time he fights.
When he knocked out Stephen Thompson, I thought that was a joke.
I haven't picked Pettis to win a fight since he fought Jim Miller.
Well, we got that one right.
Yeah, I got that one. The rest of them, I picked him to lose every time.
I think I might have picked him to beat Chiesa.
I didn't. I remember that's the first time I did DraftKings. Chiesa lost it for me. I got second in my DraftKings pool because Chiesa got submitted.
Well,
I never did it. Oh, it was on the fucking DC Stipe card.
oh, was it?
First time I ever did DraftKings, and the last time.
Well, that's a great fucking transition, isn't it?
I'll start this week. Yeah. Oh yeah, the main event this weekend is Daniel
DC and
Cormier
Stipe.
and Stipe Miocic. Last time DC knocked him out with a little, more like, it was kind of a right hook, I guess. Stipe was clearing.
Out of the clinch.
Stipe was clearing an underhook, and DC fucking popped him right in the jaw. Hit him right in the fucking button.
One of the happiest days of my life. I won a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, that's not going to happen again, more than likely. Stipe, what he needs to do, use his size, box him up, keep the distance, and avoid that clinch unless they're close to the cage. If they get near the cage, I think Stipe damn near has the grappling advantage there. He kind of manhandled DC last time they got there. He's way bigger. DC actually doesn't defend takedowns against the cage very well, but DC also doesn't care about getting taken down.
Yeah.
So if they get near the cage, I think it's okay for Stipe to clinch. Outside of that, keep the distance, box them up, use your jabs, try to find your combos, and the only way I see Stipe winning this fight is by knockout. I don't think he's going to be able to keep a good pace against DC. Even though Stipe broke Francis Ngannou and got him tired, Stipe was super fucking tired in that fight, in my opinion. Like, He looked gassed. The takedowns he was hitting was not great. The way he was holding Francis down would not work against a guy like DC.
No way.
So I think he needs to finish him. DC, again, needs to go find that clinch. He needs to take his time and not rush in there. I saw in an interview, he said that last time he started off slow because he was trying to find Stipe's rhythm and his range, and that this time he won't have to do that. I think he needs to do that again. Not rush in there, not getting a huge brawl until he finds that range, finds the timing, gets Stipe tired, and then I think he'll be able to just kind of outpace him, outbox him, out-wrestle him in the later rounds.
Yeah. I mean, I picked DC the first time. I'm going to pick him again. I really think he's actually better everywhere. He's just... Stipe is a great fighter. Stipe. Stiopic.
Stiopic.
Yeah, no, I think DC is just better at everything. I mean, Stipe is great and everything, but DC is one of the best of all time. I mean, better wrestling. He knocked him out last time. Better conditioning. Stipe's been sitting out forever, just kind of, and I mean, I really like Stipe. I didn't like the way that he handled that loss, but I mean, it worked out for him. He got the rematch.
That could hurt him though. I mean, he hasn't fought in a long time.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think that is going to be good for him, but.
And at heavyweight too, like once these guys get knocked out at heavyweight, they're never the same.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I say DC all the way. So I think.
Hold on though. Another thing though, like I was thinking, like this might sound dumb to people that really don't know how some of this stuff works. Since DC's gained all this weight, this dude's neck is so damn big. Like he barely has a neck. And Stipe doesn't really throw a head kick, so I don't really see a way that Stipe fucking like knocks him out.
Yeah.
That actually matters. Like
yeah.
Getting hit and your head moving and your brain bouncing off your skull is how you get knocked out. Like I don't really see
if your head doesn't move.
Like his head doesn't move, his chin's tucked and he has no fucking neck. Like he's gonna have to hit him absolutely perfect to knock him out.
Like straight down.
Yeah, it's like it sounds dumb, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like yeah, alright. What do you got?
Oh, nothing. I mean, I think this is the first time that we've had the same picks.
Yeah, it is.
And we picked all favorites.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Well,
which is
Pettis and Diaz is even money right now.
Last I looked, it was...
It's like minus 105 and minus 120.
Yeah, I mean, it's really close, but...
It's even money.
Either way. I mean, I never pick all favorites, but...
No, I don't either.
But yeah, I mean, these are all really good fights, really exciting card. I can't fucking wait. I've been waiting for this card for a long time. Dude, I was thinking after this there's going to be like a break between the next card.
Let's look.
No, I looked. It never stops. I think there's a fight every weekend for the rest of the year.
Andrade and Weili Zhang.
Yeah.
August 31st. No, there's a break.
Where?
August 17th to August 31st.
Oh, there is a break?
Yeah. There's
okay,
a break.
well, after... Okay, so next weekend there's no fight. No UFC fight, at least.
Then fuck Khabib Poirier.
Yeah, but okay, so there isn't a fight, UFC fight next week, but... Well, that's good. I want to talk about some other stuff because, man, there's been a lot of fights, and it's been awesome. I was kind of worried with the ESPN deal that they were going to have less fights. I was wrong.
Yeah, we can run through last week's card really quick.
We don't have to go through all of it.
Yeah. Barzola, Mofet. I had Barzola in that one. Everyone else had Mofet. It was a good fight. It could have gone either way. I had Barzola winning. They were pretty evenly matched in strikes landed. I thought Barzola pushed the pace a little bit more, so I gave it to him. Fight that could have gone either way.
Yeah, and then Vieira, I mean, he looked really good. Got the submission like a lot of people expected.
That's what most people thought.
Yeah.
He's very high level BJJ.
Yeah, so that was cool. I like seeing that. I like seeing
Dominated
jiu-jitsu
from
guys
start
do
to
jiu-jitsu
finish.
stuff.
Took him down, rode him out from start to finish until he tapped him out late in the second.
Then we had Volkan and Ayer, pretty much what I said would happen. Latifi's conditioning isn't good, and Volkan hits really hard. And
Volkan looked good.
Yeah, he did
looked
look
a lot
good.
better than he has back against the ropes. Like, if he doesn't win this fight, he could have got cut.
Yeah.
3-fight losing streak against really good guys. But yeah, Volkan kind of ran through him. Latifi didn't really have much for him. I picked Latifi in this one kind of because I don't know. I thought he might be able to take him down, and I thought he'd be able to land a big shot. Volkan's been hit with a lot of heavy shots lately. I could have seen his chin going away, but he fucking put it on Latifi. Didn't give him a shot.
And then Garagori and Banane, both those guys suck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to talk shit about any fighters or anything. You know, they're out there doing it, but Bannonet's young. He got in good positions and he just didn't know what to do, and maybe he'll figure it out. But unfortunately, he's in the UFC right now, and he doesn't really have time to figure it out. So
One more loss and
he'd take him down up against the cage, and then he'd be in great position, and then he'd just give it away and let him get up, and then.
Yeah, that was that fight. Yeah,
he did it like 3 or 4 times.
He kept taking him down,
man.
like trying to force get into his back and choking him. It's like it's not there.
It's like man, you're in a great
position,
and you're you just really want a rear naked choke for some reason. Like, how about I don't know.
That's him being young. They get excited, going for stuff that works in practice. Maybe I don't know where he trains. Maybe he's able to do that stuff to people in sparring. Like
I don't know, man. But and then Garrett Gorey, I mean, he's obviously better than him on the feet, but. Like I said, I remember you brought it up last week, his spinning kicks that he throws, and I said I saw them on like his other fights, and I was like, they're not really that impressive.
They were bad.
And every time he threw one there, he missed by a mile. Like I don't know, man. Neither of these guys are. It's not gonna work out for them in the UFC.
Let's move on to the best fight of the night: Vicente Luque versus Mike Perry. This fight was fucking awesome. Mike Perry got robbed, but
that fight was great.
looked good too. Though.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing, dude. Mike Perry's nose
exploded,
shifted across his entire face.
That was disgusting.
And then Luque had him in a guillotine at the end and was just squeezing. Mike Perry's whole face was just gushing blood, like he was squeezing the blood out of him.
Man, for real, how tough is Mike Perry? Because obviously his nose was shattered. You know how bad that hurts. And then at the same time, having Luque just squeezing him like that, and I'm sure his nose is rubbing up against something or his
even
face.
If he wasn't getting choked, his head
Yeah, I mean, Mike Perry might be the toughest dude in the world. That was nuts.
Mike Perry's awesome.
Yeah, but he got robbed. Mike Perry won that fight. I think everybody knows it. It was a good fight, and that's what people keep saying. Like, oh, it wasn't a robbery; it was a close fight. Just because it was a good fight doesn't make it not a robbery.
Yeah, no, there can be close fights, and it's very clear who won the fight.
Yeah, it can be a good fight.
It was exciting. It wasn't even really close. It was exciting.
Yeah, Mike Perry won that fight easily. I feel bad. I feel bad for him that they took it away from him. Plus, he's gonna have to sit out for a while.
Dude, he'll probably be out for almost a year.
But I think that both of their stocks went up here, though. I mean,
for sure,
everybody's gonna want to watch both of them fight, whoever they're gonna fight next. But it does suck that that got taken away from them.
All right, main event was Shevchenko and Cormier. Not really much to say. The fight sucked. Valentina,
she's a beast.
She dominated, I guess. Like it was clear she won every round, but she hit one nice little foot sweep.
Yeah, that was cool.
The only person I want to see her fight is Nunes. I
want to see her fight Nunes too.
Somebody tweeted this, dude, and it'll never happen. But how cool would this be? Just a rematch card where if DC wins this weekend and Nate wins this weekend, they do Valentina versus Nunes. They do Jones DC. They do Nate Connor.
Oh my god!
Would that not be the best?
Yeah,
card
they would never do that, but that would be so cool.
I know. Fuck, dude, that'd be sick.
Especially
with all these
there'd be 3 double champs on there.
These shitty cards they keep giving us, dude.
But they're giving us so much, though. I can't even complain. There's fights every weekend.
Cool, dude. Who wants to watch Jessica Andrade and Val Zhang and Leo Jingling versus Ilia Zascu dos Santos fight?
I'll watch all these.
That's the co-main event. Leo Jingling against Azil Zaluskas dos Santos. It's in China. That's why Val Zhang is fighting for the belt.
Didn't she fight when we were in Chicago? She fought.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think she did. I might be wrong though.
Nah, her last fight was March 2nd. It should be Tisha Torres, who just lost this weekend.
Well, never mind then.
She should not be fighting for the belt. She might be good, but
yeah. Well,
all right. That pretty much wraps it up. We got some guys that might be coming on soon. Within the next couple weeks.
Well, let's talk about that fight.
That's what I'm doing.
They're both fighting this weekend.
So first off, Casey Kenny, Indiana native. That's where we're from. He fights this weekend. He's coming off of a win over Ray Borg. I think he's the first fight on the ESPN prelims this weekend.
I think so, and
click prelim.
It's a really big fight. Hang on, let me pull it up here.
Yeah, he's the first fight on the ESPN prelims this weekend. Coming off one over Ray Borg. Not a lot of people know him. But this kid's about fucking as tough as they come, fighting Manny Bermudez.
Yeah.
If he wins this one, man, his name's he's gonna be up there. A win over Ray Borg should have done it for him, but and he took it on short notice. This kid's a beast.
Yeah.
He'll be on the show soon. And then Jared Brooks, we've talked about him. Fighting in Ryzen, former UFC fighter. kind of got screwed out of the UFC, honestly, was 125er. Damn near could have been undefeated. Probably has the worst luck I've ever seen in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And then they let him go coming off a win because I thought they were getting rid of the division. He's fighting in Rising this weekend, and he'll be on soon as well.
Yeah. So both these guys fighting this weekend. Hopefully, they both get wins, like I think they will, and we'll have some good stuff to talk about. But yeah, both Indiana wrestlers. So let's go.
Yep. And yeah, we are gonna do a fight companion on Saturday for this card. So if you're not watching the fight, maybe you're at work, maybe you're out of town, you want to kind of know what's going on, we'll be on YouTube. We'll tweet out the link at Rivalry MMA and at Third Sports. You can come check it out, watch the fight with us. We won't be showing the fight, obviously. We'll be showing us and reacting to it and commentating it. But yeah, check that out. Shout out to Big Heads Media, Third String Sports for supporting us and putting us out there. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play. And be sure to tune in Saturday because that's going to be some good stuff.